Welcome to the MTC Report, the news behind the news with journalist Mark Taylor-Canfield. We offer you independent voices and underreported stories about topics you won't hear anywhere else. Join us as we delve into the deeper issues behind the news stories of the day on the MTC Report.
We would be thrilled. We don't need legislative permission to do anything anymore. If we disagree with our legislative bodies, it's an emergency. We just say so, and it is. But you know what? The governor's right. If we're going to declare an emergency, let's declare an emergency on climate change.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the MTC Report. This is Mark Taylor-Canfield, former writer at Huffington Post and other places, a regular guest on the Jeff Santos Show, broadcasting nationally from the Boston area, and executive director of Democracy Watch News. You can check out our podcast, The Democracy Cast, at iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, other places, and also you can go to our website, democracywatchnews.org. We are a non-profit news organization. So today, I just wanted to put out something there for you. It's just a direct videotaping of the rally in Seattle on February 18th as an opposition protest against Trump's declaration of an emergency on the southern border of the United States. So you're going to hear from Dow Constantine, who is the Dow Constantine is actually the executive of the King County Commission, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. County, which includes the metropolitan area of Seattle. So Dow Constantine is going to speak, and then you'll also hear a very inspiring speech from Reverend Kelly Brown from Seattle. And also you'll hear Bob Ferguson, the Washington State Attorney General, who's become quite a hero in the region and kind of a darling of the folks who live in that area because of his stance against the Trump administration's immigration policies and other policies. So, as he said, the score right now is Washington State versus Trump. Washington has won almost every lawsuit against the Trump administration so far. So here we go, the MTC Report. Thanks for checking it out, and thanks for supporting the channel. And please subscribe and like this video and let people know about it. Share it on social media. We really appreciate it. This is Mark Taylor-Canfield for the MTC Report from Seattle.
And so next, we are honored to have someone extraordinary who is, and I use that word with every ounce of emphasis I can give it, to lead us all in song. Before we bring her up, in honor of the 49,000 asylum seekers and immigrants who are in detention on U.S. soil, including 15,000 children, we ask you now to please raise your candles. And now please welcome the lead pastor from Plymouth Church, Seattle, United Church of Christ, the Reverend Dr. Kelly J. Brown.
Friends, it's cold out here.
That's okay.
And I love you. But I'm tired of meeting like this. I'm tired of responding to the many contrived crises of our current holder of the position of president. I am grateful for our fire, for indeed it is warm despite the cold temperatures. I am grateful for Representative Jayapal and Smith and others who represent us well, Governor Inslee, who is here, for using their voices to speak truth to power. And in the midst of this storm of fecal matter of administration, I want to thank you, the activists, the grassroots efforts that are made to make a difference here today. It is time for action. It's time to vote. It's time for righteous anger. It's time for what James Baldwin says, that if we are not angry, we are not paying attention. Vote and critical circumstance that requires action. An emergency is not willy-nilly determined by a so-called leader who names it and then just says it's so, and then shrugs his shoulders afterwards and said, well, I really didn't have to do it, but I did.
Yeah, right.
That's not an emergency. An emergency does not end with 18 holes.
Right.
Somehow, I feel that all of us are due an Emmy because we're on a really bad reality show. How much longer must we smell putrid doo-doo and pretend that nothing stinks? Even in this area that we call the none zone, which means that few people claim faith, or fewer people than the rest of the country claim faith or attend church, synagogue, temple, or mosque, I know that we have a moral center because we are here. And so I want to reclaim that force, that spiritual force, for we are the ones we have been waiting for. And I want to say that there is a line for truth, that truth cannot be relativized, that we can't say there are good people on both sides, but there are people who are dying in the streets. Friends, there is no emergency. This is pure, unadulterated racism towards black and brown folk, unapologetic fear-mongering, unscrupulous abuse of power, and a major representation of manipulative stupidity laced with narcissism. And the sad thing is we all have to pay for it, even those who are still wearing red MAGA hats. We're paying for it for them. All Americans will be impacted by this stupidity. And we are simply ringing the bell to tell people to wake up.
Yes.
Folks, it's time to recall our history. We need to remember that we're the people that did stuff like Boston Tea Parties. We need to remember that we passed the Voters' Rights Act. We need to remember that we boycotted for over a year so that people could ride the bus despite the color of their skin. We need to say we're not going to take it. We're not going to swallow it. There is no crisis. There is no emergency. There is no reason to hold the whole country hostage. Simply because on this President's Day, you're still trying to outdo President Obama. Come on, friends. This is mediocrity on display. And there is no justification for the snow job of brainwashing that too many are accepting without question. There are emergencies, and we know there are. There are children of asylum seekers that will never be placed back with their parents because they've said it's too expensive and they don't have the time or resources to do it. That is an emergency. Friends, we're scared to travel in our cars because there are crumbling bridges, and you dare build a wall with our money? No! There are children without clean water. There are animals that we will never see again because we're turning it around so that you can kill the very few animals that are left on planet Earth. What kind of stupidity is this? There are emergencies for queer and trans folk under threat. There are emergencies for differently able and disabled people. There are emergencies for the people who exist in anti-blackness across the land. There's xenophobia, there's homophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, medical and environmental racism. Those are emergencies. singing, I had to say a word. To recenter our morality. And I sing this song. Sing with me. Somebody is hurting my people, and it's gone on far too long. And it's gone on far too long. And it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody is hurting my people, and it's gone. Anymore. Come on, sing. Somebody is hurting my people, and it's gone on far too long. I tell you it's gone on far too long. I know that it's gone on too long. Oh, somebody is hurting my people, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody is telling some lies, and it's gone on far too long. I tell you it's gone on far too long. I know that it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody is telling some lies, and it's gone on too long, and we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody is building a wall, and it's gone on far too long. I know that it's gone on far too long. I know that it's gone on far too long. Oh, somebody is building a wall, and it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. One more time now, and we won't be silent anymore. We are called to hold up the light in our lives, because no matter how bad it is, we have hope. We are called to hold up the light, because no matter how bad it is for us, there are so many people in this world that are looking to us to be a light in their lives, to bring some hope, to tell them that we're going to fight alongside of them. So let's sing together, this little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine.
This is quite a man who's about to come and speak for you right now. Please welcome Chris Franco.
Thank you for your service.
Holy cow. So I must say that this right here is what I fought for. This is the America that inspires folks to do more, to be more. This is what it means to stand together. This is what it looks like when we, the people, stand together against fear and hate. And let's be real. Let's call this fake emergency what it really is. This is a power grab to to circumvent Congress to get funding for an asinine campaign promise that supposedly Mexico was going to pay for. See, now the president's taking funding from my brothers and sisters in arms. He's taken funding that was set aside to repair housing for military families that have sacrificed so much in the 17 plus years of war that we are still going on. And what's worse is that this emergency, this fake emergency, paints us as bigots and cowards. That is not the America that I served. That is not everybody that has it out here right now in the cold after Snowmageddon. All right. The country that I fought for doesn't cower in fear from immigrants and refugees.
Nope.
It consists of them. My grandfather immigrated from Mexico, believing in the American dream and forging a more promising future for my family. Like me and my father, my grandfather joined the U.S. Army to give back to the country that provided him opportunities that weren't existent where he came from.
Thank you for his service.
Thank you.
I do. But because of him and because of the time that our nation was at that very moment, and that golden door of liberty was open to my family and so many others, I now have the opportunity to raise my family, my 4 beautiful children who are somewhere in this darkness and light, to try and forge a nation together, along with everybody here, that really makes us proud to call ourselves Americans. And this fake emergency paints our refugees and the immigrant community as some sort of invasion force or enemies of our nation. That is not the case. These are our brothers and our sisters, our community members, and the future of our nation. That is what makes this nation special, and a beacon of hope to the rest of this world about what we can accomplish together when we stand together for good, for light, for hope, for our future. I spent a year of my life in Afghanistan, and I know what an emergency looks like, and this is not it.
Stop U.S. wars on the people
We should.
of the world.
We absolutely should.
Stop U.S. imperialist wars.
But let's be clear. Families seeking asylum here in our nation is not an emergency.
No. Right about
And we bolstered the southern border with so many additional thousands of Border Patrol agents, National Guardsmen, and active duty personnel, numbers that now rival our commitments against ISIS. These people are not our enemies. They are our future. Like my grandfather, my family, and so many others, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal being an immigrant, this is just a disgrace. It's a disgrace that we're in this space right now, having to come together like this to stand against a fake emergency that pits us against one another and then divides us.
Yes.
This emergency spreads hate and xenophobia, but fear and hate will not define America when we stand together. We must be a light in the darkness. And when we stand together against tyranny, we keep hope alive. This right here, every single one of you, love resists. Our colors here. This is what gives me hope that we, the people, will overcome this dark chapter in our history, and we will live up to our declarations as a nation that all of us are created equal. This is what is going to get us to actually work towards liberty and justice for all. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to be here this cold Monday night on President's Day to come together in solidarity for our immigrant and refugee communities, our communities of color, our Native communities, everybody that represents this United States of America. Divided, we fall, but united we shall stand. And we will stand up against this administration. And come 2020, buddy, we're coming for you. God for all. May God bless America.
Chris Franco. I heard some people saying this, and Chris, we want to say this in unison. Thank you for your service.
Let's declare an emergency about the millions of Americans who this very evening are without health care. Well, here in King County, I don't have to declare an emergency about that because I and this county council and this community know and care about these priorities, and we are working to march forward together to create an alternative to the vision of America that Donald Trump suggests for us. To become the change we want to see in America. So tonight I declare that the worst of all is that the president of the United States saw that Democratic lawmakers stood up to his blackmail of his contrived government shutdown. He doesn't care about our country. He doesn't care about our Constitution. He doesn't care about our values as Americans. He just wants this wasteful, useless monument to hate, fear, and racism. Well, we know what this is about. It's a fight. And we will fight in the courts against this illegal seizure of power and this squandering of government funds. We will fight in our United States Congress to restore the rule of law. We will fight to protect immigrants and those seeking asylum in our community and in all communities across this nation. Thank you for being here and making this night possible. Thank you to the organizers, Indivisible Seattle, Indivisible Washington District 8, Seattle No Hate, and Weighs In. The people of King County, the people of Washington State, and leaders truly across the political spectrum must now summon their strength and summon their courage and unite in defense of the Constitution, of the Republic, of the very continuation of this experiment in self-rule. We stand for the rule of law. We stand against the dishonesty of this fake declaration of emergency, against the blatant abuse of presidential power. We stand together, united as Americans for the values of this country, and we must continue to resist, continue to organize, and be ready to go back to the streets and back to the polls to take this nation back in 2020. Thank you very much.
Now, Constantine. So we're going to sing in a moment, but before we proceed, I do want to take a moment to remember King County Public Defender Darren Morris, who passed away on Sunday. During his time as public defender, he fought to reform the criminal justice system here, particularly how our prison system incarcerates people of color disproportionately. There are many people here who knew him tonight personally, so right now we would like to take a moment of silence in his memory. We got less than 12 years to do this. We got to pull it together. So, who would like to hear another song from Kelly J. Brown? Let's bring her back up. Dr. Kelly J. Brown.
And I want you to know that the reason we keep winning, there's a number of reasons. Great legal team in the office who works hard for you around the clock. I was meeting with them today. They've been working all weekend on a potential case on this issue, but a key reason is this president forgets something important. He forgets that he's accountable to the rule of law just like you are, just like I am. So is the president of the United States, right? And yet he continues to exceed his constitutional authority, and this is no exception, right? No! So I want you, our team's working hard, and we're prepared. They started drafting a complaint weeks ago, and as you know, they're looking at raiding budgets from projects all around the country. And if they take any money from any project here in Washington State, housing for our military folks, you're going to see another lawsuit. Right? So I just want to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you for being out here on a cold night. I appreciate the state troopers who did not stop me as I was driving north on I-5 from Olympia. Thanks to my wife and kids who are patient enough to let me zip out here and see all of you my way home. But I want you to know how much I appreciate what you're doing. I think about the fact when I take on this administration, it's not me, it's each and every one of you. Never forget that. You're doing that great work. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
So here I am, Mark Taylor-Canfield, and I am on Capitol Hill in Seattle, and we're checking out a full moon tonight. It's amazing on this February night, and then we're also checking out the sights of the city. So let me show you what we're looking at here. Oh, I think everybody knows that building, right? The Space Needle. But yeah, that's what Seattle looks like from this part of the city. It's amazing. You can see so far all the way to Queen Anne Hill. That's what that is. And downtown. So we've been having a great time, but the moon is the main thing. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful tonight. It's a full moon, so that's why we're out tonight.
The MTC Report, the news behind the news with journalist Mark Taylor-Canfield. We offer you independent voices and underreported stories about topics you won't hear anywhere else. Join us as we delve into the deeper issues behind the news stories of the day on the MTC Report.